Hello there once again. For today's assignment, we're going to be looking at the levels feature. In the last assignment, we looked at the curves tool, and both of these are housed under the colors option. To begin the assignment, we first need to open the file. To do so, we access the O drive and select the image levels before. Once you have it open, you'll notice it's a picture of an old camera with the interior appearing to explode up out of the top. To access the levels feature, we first must select colors, and then levels. And here's what the levels window looks like. There's a whole lot of features that we're going to access in a moment, but to begin, a very useful tool is known as this auto feature. The auto feature actually leaves it up to the computer to determine what is the best amount of color and brightness to produce given a particular algorithm or mathematical equation that is used by the GIMP software. So to see what the auto feature does, go ahead and select it, and we'll see in real time how the image updates. You'll notice that the background or the white portion is much more bright, and also these colors that we had present in the image, these neon greens and reds and blues, are much more vibrant. They seem to have a little bit more pop. To save our changes, we can press OK. And this is going to be the first image that we save in assignment number 3. So go ahead and save it with a new file name. It was levels before. Now we're going to save it as levels auto, because that's the feature that we use to manipulate this image. Be sure to save it in the appropriate spot on your U drive. For the next image, very similar to the curves assignment, I would like you to once again access the levels feature. However, this time, I want you to physically manipulate the image data yourself. If you'll notice, we have 3 sliders on this input levels. The one on the left controls the darks, or the blacks as they're known. The middle one controls the middle tones, or the grays. And the final slider controls the lights, or the whites. You'll also notice that we have the same feature as curves, where we can actually select a particular color to increase or decrease the amount that it's present in our image. So I'm going to play around with this a little bit until I get an image that I think is interesting, and you can do the same. You certainly do not have to make yours look similar to mine. That's sort of like the old-time feel that I get them here. It's almost like some of the apps that you see on iPods now, the Instagrams. So once you're happy with the image you've produced, you can press OK once again to save your changes. And this will be the second image that we save to our U drive. We'll change the name once again to Levels Custom. And of course, as always, we'll save it to the appropriate spot in our U drive. The final step, now that we've had a chance to interact with the levels tool a little bit, is to take our images and incorporate them onto the PowerPoint that we set up in assignment number 2. So take a moment to open your PowerPoint. At this point, we should have the initial title slide with your name on it and GIMP Unit PowerPoint. The second slide should contain assignment number 2, the curves tool, and the 3 images that you created. And today's slide, assignment 3, levels, should contain the 3 images you came up with in this assignment. And it's a good way to check out all the images side by side and see how our manipulation changed the image and the final project. If we look at levels before the original image, we can compare it to levels auto, the default feature that the computer allows us to access to increase the attractiveness of our photos. We can also compare the first image to levels custom, the design feature that we came up with by manipulating the slide bars and the color palette of the levels tool. So be sure to include your 3 images on the third slide, assignment 3 levels.